The most valuable thing that happens inside my head is probably hyperfixation. And I didn't always feel that way. I used to think of it as a huge hindrance. I thought all I want to do is, or rather all I need to do is fold the laundry or do the dishes or stay on task at work or learn how to do this freaking thing. But all I want to do is play Zelda and watch Adventure Time or prep D&D. These are all things that made me feel rewarded, engaged, qualified, confident, happy, and not really being able to go to them throughout the things that I had to do was crippling. That is, unless I reshape my responsibilities to incorporate my hyperfixations. You probably already do this when you're doing something like writing stories or prepping your D&D game. There's a book, a TV show, a video game that you're really enjoying, so you put it in the game. This makes the game more fun and engaging for you. That's a good thing, but it doesn't have to end there. Back in October, I needed to work out, but I wanted to play Castlevania. Need, want. So I did this on Twitch.
Because the axe armor, dang, I thought he was gonna kill me. But he did this time. 10, 5.
And not only did I get the health benefits of exercise from that, and the mental benefits of indulging my hyperfixation, but I did something really fun and new that I haven't ever seen done before, and I made some really cool friends in the Castlevania and exercise communities. Another hyperfixation I've been streaming on Twitch is my love of pencils. I have a journal cam where people say, "Hey man, what kind of pencil is that?" And then I get to talk about pencils. Maybe those are too easy. Of course you can combine your hyperfixations with your responsibilities when your responsibilities are exercising and streaming on Twitch, but that's not where it ends. I'm sneaking Zelda music onto the playlist at the coffee shop where I work. I'm using the stationery that I'm really obsessed with to take notes while I learn. I'm using the power scaling system from a fantasy series that I really like to track my exercise goals. I'm calling my goals ghouls because it makes me feel good. I'm cooking myself Breath of the Wild recipes to hit my macros. And I arrive at this place by writing down all my hyperfixations. And sometimes identifying those alone is its own process. You've got to look where you're spending your time, energy, and attention effortlessly. The place that you go that doesn't cost anything, up here. Then you write down your goals, your needs, and if those overlap anywhere, even if it's a stretch, pursue it. It doesn't always work, but everyone that does will be more valuable than gold. There's not always really good dopamine where it should be, like doing the dishes, finishing folding the laundry, replying to emails. But if you've got a Luke's Diner apron and you really like Gilmore Girls, then you're not just washing dishes, you're hanging out at Luke's. If you've got a Richter Belmont cosplay laying around, you're not just folding laundry dressed like Richter Belmont, you're packing everything away to go fight Dracula and save your beloved. I've got candles inspired by Dune that I can burn in rooms that I need to spend time on. A Minish Cap sticker can turn a vacuum cleaner into a gust jar. I cannot stress enough the value that stickers bring into my life. And if you can't affect the things in your life that demand your attention, if you can't change those processes to accommodate your hyperfixations, visualizing your hyperfixations as metaphors can be incredibly valuable. And that sounds a little bit silly, but today at work, I was scooping out some really tough ice cream, but actually I was drawing the Master Sword and it was consuming my hearts. And if only I had enough heroic stamina, huzzah! Then I've scooped some ice cream. Carrying the outdoor patio furniture was actually a puzzle where I had to arrange statues just so to make the door do-do-do-do-do-do. And it can seem childish and odd to outsiders, especially neurotypical bosses, teachers, and even parents. But the results speak for themselves. If you can steep yourself in hyperfixations, your productivity is going to explode. This process of identifying where I seem to go with my time and attention, and then identifying where that could potentially overlap with my needs, has been infinitely valuable to me as an autistic adult with ADHD, because I really need structure in order to function. But there's also a demon in my head that bucks at authority. So the structures that are provided to me make me want to turn to stone. creating my own processes, using hyperfixations as an anchor, because creating a process on a blank slate is terrifying and impossible. It has given me so much more energy for day-to-day tasks that felt impossible for a really long time. And I've been doing it off and on unconsciously for decades. I thought of it as a problem instead of the most powerful tool that I have to accomplish my goals. And it can all be traced back to teachers getting onto you for drawing in class. Remember that. What are your hyperfixations? What are the tasks that would be way cooler if you could incorporate your hyperfixations? Are you having trouble combining the two? I would love to read about it in the comments, or you can come talk to me about it on my Discord server. That link's in the comments. That's also where you can play in my West Marches game, The Veiled Yonder. Thank you to my patrons who have enabled me to take the time that I needed to identify this process and really nail it down. If you want to breathe their rarefied air and access full interviews with minimalist D&D experts like Mike Shea of The Sly Flourish and Kelsey Dione of the Arcane Library, or an interview with an actual psychiatrist who uses D&D in her practice, Dr. Megan Connell, you can find those at patreon.com/ADHDM. If you want to see me combine my hyperfixations with my goals in real time, you can watch me do that and hang out over at twitch.tv/the_ADHDM. Finally, if you found this video empowering, you think there's someone in your life who may be able to use this advice, please subscribe and share it with that friend. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Y'all thought I was playing about the Luke's apron.